When today's agenda is logical operators. So in logical operators, we are going to see and, or, not, between, like, not like, in, and not in. And there are some other operators like any, all. So these are the operators we are going to see in when we are discussing subqueries. I will let you know those those logical operators. And again, numerical functions. So in numerical function, we are going to see seal, or seal, unsealing, floor, random, in, ln, natural logarithm, that is log, also natural logarithm, and power, square root, modulus, and pi, expression, and sign. There are some more on numerical operators, the like con, uh, sine, and tan. So like this, some trigonometric operators are there. So, but I just want you guys, you just go ahead and check those operators. Those are easy operators, but we will use rarely in real-time scenarios. So just skipping those things. These are the main operators we usually um, regularly use. So coming back to SQL Workbench. For that, I keep those notes. Yeah, first, and and uh, and are okay. So these are the two logical operators. Along with this, there is one more operator called not. So let's consider these three operators as one set. Okay. So and or not. So if you these are the three logical operators. When we are these three operators we will use majorly when we are using multiple conditions. For example, um, yesterday we saw retail table, right? So if we want to see the data, if you want to check the data, like if where the month equal to January and month equal to June. So if you want to check like this kind of uh, like these kind of conditions. So these are the two conditions, right? Where month equal to January, where month equal to June. So January is the one condition, and June is another condition. When we are dealing like this, when we are dealing like this with two or more conditions, we can use and operator, or operator. Not we can use, or we can't use those things. It's not a problem. So in this way, in that kind of scenarios, we are going to use and operator, or operator. So these are the operators we use to filter the data. Okay, mostly these and operator, or operator, not operator, we are going to use in the SQL queries, where the where class we are going to use. Okay, these you can skip not, but mostly and operator and or operator you are going to use in conjunction with where clause. Okay, so we'll see some examples. Let's see first where clause. Where clause will take total orders. Okay, where total orders I'm using comparison operators like greater than 100, and also I want to see will pass 300. Okay, select from select star from retails where total orders greater than 300. So I'm going to run this query. So we are going to see the records where the total orders is greater than 300. But if I want to pass one more condition, so how can we pass this? And so let's see first on, then we'll see our. Hmm, we'll see if pass less than. See guys, if I run this query, no records will be written. Why? For this, let me run this query. What? So if you observe for 300, for this condition where the total orders is greater than 300, for this condition we are getting only one record. Okay, as part of this query we can able to see one record, and we'll try to execute this condition as well separately. So you can see this many records are written as part of this query. So if you observe the values, the total orders where the total orders is less than 160, so we can able to see these orders, right? But if you club these, you understood, right? So if we execute this single condition, we are getting we are getting one record as a result. And if we execute this condition, we can able to see total 5 or 6 records as part of this query results. Okay, I'm going to execute this condition. It is not going to return any value. Why? Because and is a operator where both the conditions should be satisfied. Okay, this condition should be satisfied and this condition should be satisfied. You can ask you can ask, so sir, these condition when we executed separately, it got succeeded and we got this results. And we when we executed this condition, it is successfully executed and we got the results. But what happens is both the conditions should be satisfied. Even though both the conditions are true, but what it will check is this condition should be satisfied by one record. Okay, it will check whether if there any record satisfies this both the conditions. So no nothing, right? No record is satisfying this condition. So that's why we are not getting any value. So instead of this, if I put greater than, definitely we'll get one record. Why? Because 342 is greater than 60 only, right? And 342 is also greater than 300. Got it right? 342 is greater than 300. So the first condition is satisfied. And 342 is also greater than 60. If it pass less than, we are not going to see any result. If we pass greater than, we are going to see result. Why? Because one record one record is able to satisfies the both conditions. That is the reason we can able to see one record as part of this query. This is how AND operator works. Okay, let's go and see OR operator. So if you use OR operator as part of this query, we are going to see all these results, even though we pass less than or equal to, sorry, less than, or if we pass greater than, we can able to see all the results. Why? Because so when we are using OR, so either of these any condition should be true. Either of these conditions, any one should be true, then it will return results. Okay, but if you see, and both the conditions should be satisfied, otherwise it is not going to give any results. But in case of OR, so either of these condition should be satisfied, and we can able to see the results, all the results. If you see, these are the values which are less than 60, and there is one more value 342 which is greater than 300. This is how R and now R and operators works in NOT.
Hello.
Please.
Could you once again execute AND operator?
Yeah.
Could you AND operator, where
Sorry.
total order than
Yeah, yeah,
8,
yeah.
total orders less than 6. Okay.
I'm using and greater than in both the
Okay, fine.
conditions.
Okay, fine.
So if we use less than, we are not going to
Get
get
yeah, we are not
any.
going to get any query.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
fine. Thank you.
You got it right?
Yeah, I got it, brother. Like I thought
Yeah.
this one was less than 60, so that's why I asked you to
No, no.
execute again
Yeah,
because we will not
yeah,
be
okay.
getting any queries, right?
Yes, yes. So we're going to see not. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. So we'll go ahead and see not. So not is used to, for example, if you run this query if you run this query, so these both the conditions are going to be checked and it will give the results, right? If this condition satisfies, then only it will return results as part of this query. So if this condition satisfies, then only it will return some records as part of this query, right? But not what it will do is, so if you run this query, you, if you run this query, we are going to get the results where the values like where the total orders is greater than 60. Okay, but if we pass not, then these results are going to be totally reversed. We can able to see only less than, and these results are equal to this. If we run this query, we are going to see less than, what are the values which are presented less than 60. Okay, which is similar to this query. But our main intention is to get the values which is greater than 60. So when we are using not, the condition became reverse. Okay, the condition became reverse, and instead of greater than, it became less than. Why? Because of not function. So not, what it will do is, if the condition satisfies, okay, if the condition results as true, it will make the condition as false.
If it is false, it will make the condition as true. So that is the difference between not and without not. If the condition satisfies, then it became true, right? In when we are using not, then when we are using not, it became false. Not true equal to false. Not false equal to true. This is exactly happens behind the not condition. Any doubt here? Okay, I will take it as not, no doubts. We go ahead and see likewise operators. So these are the wildcard operators. We can otherwise we can call it as wildcards. So wildcard operators. So these are the operators. Wildcard no, like so wildcard operators are like operators. So these are the operators is used to filter the records pattern, based on pattern in the string or something. So basing on the pattern, we can able to filter the records. So these are the operators which are useful for filtering the records basing on the pattern. For example, if you want to see January, okay, we don't. You want to filter the record. You want to filter the record basing on these three values. You want to return the records where where January present in the particular string. Sorry, for John present in the particular string, or else if you want to see the you want to see only months. You want to see only months where uh, in that particular word a letter should be there. Okay, you want to see the records. Only you want to see all the records which contains a letter. Okay, like this kind of conditions we can apply and we can filter the records. For example, I want to see the records which contain Y. I want to see the records which contain Y in the string. So if I want to see only the records which contains Y in the Y as a letter in the word, so I can able to see by using likewise operators. Or else if anything starts with J, if any condition, if any letter, if any word starts with J, we can filter those records as well. Else if any condition, if any value ends with Y, we can filter those records as well by using likewise operators. So in likewise operators, we're going to see how we can use percentage, how we can use underscore. So this percentage represents this percentage we can use to check the values which starts with particular letter. Like this condition we need to pass in braces, we need to pass in single quotes or double quotes. So like this. So if you pass like this, it will check whether if there any value starts with January. Like first J followed by percentage symbol. So if you pass like this, it will check the values which starts with J. Let me starts with. Okay. To check the values starts with, we need to use this type of pattern. Sorry, we need to use this kind of syntax. J is also fine, John is also fine. Like this, you can check. If you want to pass like this, you can pass. Okay. If you want to pass only JA, you can pass JA. It will check the values which are starting with the JA. Those values are going to be written. We'll see some examples later. And the contains, for contains, the syntax is percentage, any letter, percentage, like this. If you are checking for the contents values, contents letters or something, so you need to pass like this. And ends with. So if you want to check any value which are ending with some letters, so you can pass like this. Percentage y. So this condition checks if any values starting with JA, it will returns. It will check, this condition will check if any values contains John in their keyword. It will check if the condition satisfies, it will return. This condition checks if any word if any word is ending with Y, it will return only the words which are ending with Y. Okay, we'll see few examples. Whereas, sorry, we'll say the difference as well. So as I mentioned, we're going to see percentage and underscore, right? So the major difference between percentage and underscore is underscore percentage is used for unlimited characters. It will check uh, sorry guys. So it will check percentage means unlimited characters. For example, if you pass percentage, whatever the number of letters present after these two words are going to be written. It will not limited to certain number of characters. It will use it for unlimited characters. But underscore represent single character. It will search only for the next single character. Uh, but suppose if you pass John underscore like this, if you pass, it will not going to return any values. Why? Because after John, it will allows only one single character, and there will be in January there are totals 8 characters are there, right? So after January, there should be one only one character when we are going with underscore. But if you check January with the percentage, it will allows unlimited characters after John. But underscore allows only one character. For both conditions, the syntax is same, guys. No need to worry. So if you pass like this, it will check if there are any values present, if any single character present before an and after an. It will check like this. Sorry, it sends with right. This actual syntax for checking starts with. This is checks for the content, and for the end, like this we need to present. Okay, you can club this percentage and you can club if you want to club this percentage and this underscore. You can do it, guys. For example, if I want to see which are starting with John underscore an percentage. If you want pass like this, you can club percentage an slash percentage a underscore. Like this way, if you want to pass, you can pass, guys. Try to understand this concept. It is very important concept when we are dealing with the data. It is one of the important concept. And sometimes you need to filter the data based on this patterns only. So there it is useful. Okay, let's see few examples. Yeah, please.
If we want a word to start with an, we should give an underscore, just like Jan and Jan percentage.
Yeah.
Or should we give underscore an? I got confused, sir. While
So,
using percentage, we give Jan percentage. While
hmm,
using underscore, we are giving underscore an.
so when mm, sorry, opposite, guys. I'm just confused. Is how. Sorry. The syntax is same. The position of this underscore and the percentage underscore and percentage are same. If you want to check any letters which are any words which are starting with the J, if you, for John, if any words are starting with John, and we need to check those we need to check those words, we can pass like this. And if you want to check, if you want to go with the underscore, you can go. And if you want to check like this, you can check. If you want to check contents, you can check like this percentage value percentage. If you want to check any values which are ending with any letter, the syntax is percentage and y. The same underscore a.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Remember one thing, guys. The only the difference between a percentage and the underscore is the percentage allows unlimited characters. Underscore allows only one single character. If you want to check for the two characters, you need to pass double underscore. like this. You need to pass. It will allows two characters. Okay. If you want to use, if you want to check two characters after this particular John, so you can pass two underscores and then it will allows two characters. If any condition, if any value satisfies that condition, it will return the records. Okay. So first, we'll see if any words are starting with the John.
Sir, what is the use of underscores?
Underscore is used to restrict check if any values the use of percentage and the symbol are same. Okay, the main use of underscore is to limit the length of the characters. So sorry, to limit the length of the strings present in the particular column.
Can we use any star symbol sir, after percentage Jan star like that if we use whether it will work?
I will show you that.
Yeah.
I will just a minute. I will show you after this thing. So first we'll see which are starting with John. So I passed this condition. Okay. So when I'm using John and percentage, it will check if there are any words are ending with words are starting with John, and if the condition satisfies, it will return the records. Okay. So these are the three records which are starting with John. So this condition is satisfied, and we got these three records. Okay. Let's go ahead and see underscore as well. So in place of percentage, I'm replacing with underscore, and I'm running this query. We are not going to be return any records. Why? Because it will after John, it allows only one character. Okay. After John, it allows only one character. So that is the reason we are not going to see any records. So for suppose, let me take it as June. So for June, how many characters are there? Total 4 characters are there. So if you pass a double underscore, sorry, let me pass single underscore first, then we'll run the query. It is not going to return any records. Why? Because after JU, it allows only one character. So if you want to check, if you if you want to check two characters after JU, and run this, and it will return June and July. Why? Because June and July starts with JU, and it contains two characters. I mean, two characters after JU. That is the reason we got these results. Got it, guys? Let me. Uh, okay. Let me run this ends with. So I want to check. I want to check uh, if any month ending with ARY. So if any month is ending with ARY, so those are the records are going to be written as part of this query. So if you see Feb and January and February, we got as part of this results. Why? Because so these are the uh, these are the 2 months which are ends with ARY. We'll see. We'll see underscore. So if we pass underscore, we're not going to see any records. Why? Because it allows only one character before ARY. So in February and January, we have so many characters before ARY. So this is the condition. This condition is going to be fail. Else, if we pass JUNE, UNE, it allows only one character, right? So as part of this query, we are going to see the records for the June. Why? Because before UNE, only one character is there, right? So that is June. That is J. So as part of this query, we are going to get the results of June. This is how ends with operator works. So if I want to check any condition, if I want to check any values, which contains UN. If I want to check any values which contain UN, we can pass like this percentage UN percentage. It will check UNE. We got UNE. So the percentage says unlimited characters. Before this, yeah, whatever the number of characters will be there, it will not consider the length of that characters. It will return. But if you place June, sorry, if you place underscore, it will consider only one character. So as part of this query, we are not going to see any records. Else, for suppose if you place mm, percentage, even though you place a percentage, you don't get any records. Why? Because it will allows the records. Sorry, it will allows the values which are starting with which are ending with AN, but after AN there should be one letter, like one will allow like this. If this many number of letters are there, it will allow. After that, AN should be there, followed by only one character should be there. Then only that these conditions. Where is this? So, so then only this condition satisfies, and we will get this word. Okay, it won't matter, guys. Like if you are using a percentage, it won't matter what are the number of characters are there. But when we are using underscore, it matters. There should be only one character for one underscore. Now, let's go ahead and check someone out. Somebody asked me like percentage, some characters, and star. If you put star, what happens? So this is what happens. So when we pass star, it will not consider as all. Basically, star means all, right? So it will not treat like this. It will not treat star as all. Instead of that, it will treat as one character. So that is the reason star won't work here.
So it
Got
will
it?
not consider as one character. It will be sorry, it will be considered as one character, but it will not consider as all.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Any other doubts here? Oh, it is getting time. And we have covered our on between and we'll check between and in. Uh, So when you see between, so between when we use keyword between normally, any answer?
Range, sir, range.
When we use
Find out
between,
range. Okay.
sorry, come again?
When we want values between two ranges,
Oh, yeah,
like
exactly. So we are going to use between in order to check certain range of values. When we are checking certain range of values, we'll use between one between 100 and 200. What it will say is it will represent the numbers. It will represent the numbers present between 100 and 200. Okay, that is 101 from 101 to 199. It will represent these numbers. Okay, so we'll go ahead and see example. This is also this condition, this between also is used to filter the records. Let me add one query from between details details between where we'll take total orders between 100 and 200. If we run this query, select star from details where total orders between 100 and 200. So it will check the order, it will check the total orders values. It will return the records where the values are present in between 100 and 200. So if you observe the total orders values, these are the values present in between 100 and 200. This is how between works. Any doubt here? Any doubt? Between and or operators, between likewise operators, as well as and or operators, we are going to use as part of where condition. First, the select statement we need to write, and from the table name where condition will after where clause we need to specify the column name, then your condition follows. If we are using if we are using any like and like or between, this condition might be different, but this part remains same. Only this condition changes. When you are using or you're using 100, it will change like this. You can skip that. and condition 2 comes here. Okay, don't confuse with the syntaxes. Condition 1 here, condition 2 here, and if you're using and, it remains same. Condition 1 here, condition 2 here, and even for between as well. If you are using like come here, likes comes here, and your values, I mean your filtering pattern we need to pass there. Don't confuse with the syntaxes. And finally we'll check in class in operator. So in operator is used to is also used to filter the records from the table. So in operator, if you are using where class, if you observe in where is this? Not greater than. If you observe here, where it is? Sorry guys. Okay, fine. Normally, if you observe in where condition, you can able to pass only two records. Sorry, in part of where condition and in combination of comparison operators, you can pass only one value, and you can filter the data basing on this only one value. But what if I want to pass based on two values or three values? So we need to write total orders. Take this to the second line. Total orders equal to 200. Or total orders equal to 300. Like this we need to write, right? If you want to check the total orders where 100 total orders equal to 100, and where the total orders equal to 200, or total orders equal to 300. So if you want to check this, if you want to check these many values where total orders equal to 100, 200, 300. So if you want to check these values, normally we need to write this many conditions with the or. So then it will give us some results, right? But in order to reduce this many conditions, instead of using this many conditions, simply we can use in operator. So the in operator is used to specify the list of values in the braces. Example, in 100, 200, 300, we can pass this many number of values. Okay, this many number of values as a list, and we can use in operator, and we can filter these records. Whatever this condition returns, for example, this condition returns three records. Okay, for suppose if this condition, if we run this condition, let's assume it is returning three records. As part of this condition also, it will return three records. Okay, the syntax might be different, but the functionality of this in class and the in operator is The functionality remains same, but the syntax may varies. Let me show you the syntax. Sorry, guys. So I will pass 1 or 2, 124, and 140. So I can pass list of values. Similarly, I can pass 1 or 2, 140, and 124. So if I run this query, it will return 3 records where total order is equal to 1 or 2, where total order is equal to 124, where total order is equal to 140. In the same way, if I run this query, we'll get the same record. Uh-oh. We can able to see only 3 records as part of this query: 124, 102, 140. Where total orders, it will check these total orders. It will compare the list of value. It will compare all the values present in the particular table. It will check this condition where total order is equal to 1 or 2, where total order is equal to 124, where total order is equal to 140. If any condition satisfies, these records will return. Sorry, guys. So the functionality of this condition as well as this condition remains same, but the main advantage of this in operator is in one condition itself we can pass multiple values, and we can filter the records easily. We don't need to write this many conditions, and we need to uh, this this much length of query we don't need to write. Simply we can pass like this. And the functionality of the not in is quite opposite to the functionality of the in operator. So if we remove in not, these are the records, right? These are the records written as part of this query. So if we pass not, it is completely reverse. It became completely reverse. It will return all the records except these values. That is not an operator and logic. These are the logical operators. And I want to take 10 more minutes. So do you have time, guys? I want to complete this numeric functions as well. I can't able to hear you guys. Only one member.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir, you continue.
Sorry, Pavan?
Yes, sir, you continue.
Yeah, okay. SDP 96, do you have any problem? Okay, I think it is. Yeah, thank you guys. So, let me quickly start the ceiling. I've already typed the index of this operators. So the ceiling means the ceiling operator how it works. The ceiling operators, what it will do is it will see the value to the nearest value. Let me. So if you observe the syntax, select ceiling, numerical expression we need to pass. So for example, if you pass this ceiling, if you pass like this, select ceiling 7112.17. So it will, if you pass like this, it will, what it will do is ceiling function, what it will do is it will, sorry guys, it will round up the value to the nearest integer. For example, if you run this query, you are going to get 713 as part of this query. What it will do is it will round up the value to the highest, I mean to the greater value, to the greater next integer. That is the greater next integer. It is 713, right? 713, right? So it will round up the value and it will give the top nearest value. Okay, so you can use two. Sorry, any doubt?
You can ask kitchen if they have any paper plates, you can eat it. If they don't, if you don't have problem, I will give my plate.
Sorry, can. Okay, it's fine. So there are two functions like seal and sealing. The functionality of the seal and sealing remains same, guys. But the keyword is different. Seal and the sealing, the functionality remains same, and it will round up the value to the next integer, and it will give the records. So here discounts, if you see the discounts, let me run the select star command. So if you run this query, it is, if you observe the discount, that is 1294. Sorry guys. So that is 104.7 like this, right? When you run this query, when you perform sealing operation, 129 is round up to 130, 104 is round up to 105, 172 as 173. I'm going to run this query. Uh, so if you observe here, 129.4 is round up to 130, 104 as 105, 172 as 173. So this is how sealing function works. So either of these, seal or sealing, you can use either of this, and but the functionality remains same, guys. If you observe, there is no difference between seal and sealing. And the floor. The floor operator is used to get the floor value. Floor value means that is 129, right? So here, if you check this discounts, the 129 is the floor value. Here, if you check this 104.7, 104 is the floor value. If you check this 172 is the floor value. If you check this 281 is the floor value. So the floor is used to return the floor value of this expression, any value that we have passed. So if you observe here, the floor value is for the shipping is 1088. So it will return 1088. For 892.45, 892 is the floor value. We got 892. This is how floor operator works. Okay, but for all the numerical functions, the syntax remains same, guys. In the select statement itself, you are going to pass the condition. You are going to use the function. Okay, in the select statement itself, you are going to pass the numerical function, and if you want to rename that, you can rename. If you skip to rename that, for example, here I'm not going to rename anything. So if you see floor shipping, the formula will come. So in order to avoid that, you can rename that with the floor. I mean, with any name you want. You run this. This instead of this function as a column name, will get floor as a column name. And shipping, in order to compare these values with this value, I just added shipping as one more column. So expression, this expression, what it will do is it will returns e raised to the power of specific value. Whatever the value if we passed here, so it will return that e raised power value. Don't worry, we are not going to use this value, this thing in many cases. So if you observe if you run this query, expression of 500. So if you run this expression of 500, this is the e raised to the power value. E raised power value. Okay. If you run 200, select expression of 200. So this is the e raised power value. And we'll see natural logarithm. Both log and ln represents same, guys. Log also is known as natural logarithm, and ln also known as natural logarithm. Both are same only. The functionality also remains same, but one syntax difference is there. For the log, we can pass base value, but for an ln, there is no option to pass the base value. That is a major difference. You can observe here. N is the log value and 4 is the base value. So if you run this, they're going to get 10 log 4. 10 to the 10 base 4 value will get log of 10 with the base value 4. This is the value of this log 10 with the base 4. And if you don't want to pass a base value, you can skip that and you can pass this value log 10 and ln 10. Okay, if you run this, the results remain same. As I mentioned, log is also referred as natural logarithmic value, and ln is also referred as natural logarithmic value. But the major difference is in the syntax, we can pass, there is an option for the log to pass base, but in ln, there is no option to pass base value. That's the difference. And mod. So if you see this modulus operator, it will return the remainder of this function. It will return the remainder. In arithmetic operators, we saw percentage, right? Percentage, that is modulus. So it will return modulus, also it will return remainder. Mod operator also it will return remainder. The functionality of this both mod and percentage, that is modulus operator, both are same, but the syntax is different. So for the mod, we'll pass the values in separated by comma. In case of modulus operators, that is percentage, we'll pass percentage in between the two values. That is there is a major difference, but the functionality remains same. I'm going to run this value. We are going to get 5 as the remainder. For mod, the remainder is 5, and for this also the remainder is 5. I just renamed it, guys. Don't worry. Why? Because if we are not going to rename this value, this formula returns as column name. Okay. For this case, I'm not going to rename. Okay, we'll see one more example, that is mod of 3526 comma 20 and 3526 divided by 20. So if I run this, we'll get the remainder as 6 both for this both operations. And for mod, we didn't rename that, right? We didn't rename the column, right? So it gave the formula. But here we just rename, we got percentage here. Percentage as a column name. That is about mod plus function, and returns. Sorry, pi. What is meant by pi? So pi is the function. What is meant by pi? The pi, the pi function. What it will do? The pi function returns the value of the pi. That is 20. It is equal to. Is almost equal to 22/7. I'm not much aware of that mathematical expressions, but when you use pi function, it will return the pi value. That is somewhat equal to. It is not exactly equal to 22/7, but almost equal to 22/7. So I'm going to run this command SQL statement. So here I pass the pi with open with braces, and 22/7 as 22/7. So if I run this query, we are going to see the pi value. So see here, the pi value is 3.141593, and for 22/7, we'll get 3.1429. Just there is a small points difference in between 22/7 and pi, but the functionality of both, I mean the almost values of this 22/7 and pi is somewhat similar. This is how pi function works. You don't need to worry about this more pi function, logarithmic values, natural logarithmic values, that is log and ln, and expressions functions. You are going to use rarely, but mostly we are not going to use, so don't worry about that. So you just need to understand ceiling and floor, how ceiling works and floor works. Okay. After that, we'll see sign operator. No, there's one more operator, that is power. The power operator. The power operator is used. The power, when we use the power operator, it returns a value of the number raised to the power of another number. So, for example, if we run this command, it will return 10 to the power of 4. That means 10 will be multiplied into 4 times. If you see here, 20 will be multiplied by 2 times. I'm going to run this query. So if you see here, in the first value, we got 10,000. That means 10 to the power of 4, which is equal to 10 to the power of 4. And here, if you observe here, we got 20 square. 20 square means 400. Okay, this is how power function works. The power function returns the value raised to the power of the given number, power value, that is. So in this case, 10 to the power of 4, we got 10,000, and 20 to the power of 2 or 20 square, we got 400. This is how power function works. And finally, sign. If you see sign operator, the sign operator returns the sign of a number. The sign operator function returns the sign of a number and returns the following values. For example, if the given number is greater than 0, it will return +1. If the given number is equal to 0, it will return 0. Else, if the given number is less than 0, that is minus values, if we pass minus values, we'll get -1 as a result. Okay. For quickly demonstration, here we have one query. So in the first, we pass plus value, that is greater than 0. And in the second, we pass sign of 0, which is equal to 0. Okay. And the sign of -10, which is less than 0. Okay. We are passing, we are giving values to satisfy these all three conditions. We'll go ahead and run this query. So if you observe here, as I mentioned, for the values which is greater than 10, which is greater than 0, will get result as 1, and the values which is equal to 0 will get 0, and for the values which is less than 0 will get -1. It just returns the sign of this number. If it is positive value, we'll get +1. If it is negative value, we'll get -1. If it is 0, we'll get 0. Simple. Finally, square root. Square root. So in square root is a function is you return the square root value, square root of number. Okay. For example, if we see 25, what is the square root of 25? 5 is the square root of 25, right? 5 is the square root of 25. Okay. 625, the square root of 625 is 25, right? So the square root operator, square root function is used to return the square root of a particular number. Those when coming to the syntax, we need to pass select, we need to then we need to specify the keyword followed by the number. We need to pass the number here, then it will give the square root. So I'm going to run this query, we'll see the result. So the square root of 25 is 5, and the square root of 625 is the 25. We got this. Finally, the last function, sorry, the last but one, random. Random, rand means random. Okay. So this rand means random. This random function, what it will do is, it will generate the range of values present in between 0 and 1. Okay. Randomly, it will generate some values which is greater than 0 and less than 1.
not equal to, sorry, not. The random function, what it will do is it will generate some random decimal values, that is point 0, sorry, 0.123, 0.567, like that. It will generate some random values ranging from 0 to 1, that is greater than 0 or less than 1. So this is the syntax of this.
The syntax of this random function is select random, select rand basis. So if I run this query, we got 7013, right? Again, if you run this query, the result might be changed 869. Again changes. When you keep on running this query, the results will be varied, and the results will be some random decimal numbers will be generated. That decimal range, that decimal numbers are ranging from 0 to 1. If you observe, it is greater than 0, but it is less than 1, and it is greater than 0. This is what. And the major use case of this random function is when we have some numbers in real time scenarios. What we will do is in if we want to generate some random values, for example, instead of 100, what I will do is will pass 500. We have some constant value, right? In some cases, there will be some constant values. In that to that constant values, from that constant values, we need to generate some random some different values. So in order to generate some different values for 500, is it possible? Is there any different values for 500? No, right? For 500 is the only unique value. It does not have any duplicate values. I can say like there is no values to represent 500, right? So if you want to represent 500, we can represent it as 500 only. There is no other way to represent 500 with another value. So in that cases, we can add some decimal values, that is 0.123, 0.567, 0.5, some point values, 123 or 567 or 8910, sorry, 890, like that. If we add some random values, some decimal points, is it going to change the value? Is it going to impact the value of this actual value of 500? No, right? It will anyway. It is going to change the value, but it is not going to change major. There is no major impact on the value. Okay, 500, 500.1, 500.2. In this case, the value 500 is similar, right? Sorry, guys. The value 500 is similar, right? And 502 is also similar. So in that cases, if you want to generate some random values for a particular integer, we can use this. We can use this kind of scenario. Guys, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But
Are you
your
able to
voice
follow the
is low.
concept? Sorry, are you able to follow the concept? I mean, any doubt here? So for suppose, let me replace 500 with the value with the total orders. If you run this query, we're going to get some random values, which is equal to 73, 73 point some decimal value, 56 point some decimal value. Like this, we will get some decimal values. But these values almost near to the actual values, right? This is how we can generate some random values. That is one of the use case, guys. And so if you see this random number, how many decimal points are there? There are a lot of, I think, 10 to 12 or 13 decimal points or 14 decimal points are there. Is it looks good? Actually, in majorly, we would like to see 2 decimal points or max of 4 decimal points, right? Max of 4 decimal values or 2 decimal values we would like to see. So in that case, how can we do that? So in that case, there is a function called round function will be there. So this round function will do, what it will do is it will round up the value to the next nearest value, that is 2. If you are specifying 2, it will give only 2 decimal points, and if you are specifying 3, it will return 3 decimal points. And when this is going to round up the value, it will check, for example, here we pass 2, it will check. What it will do is it will check the random value, and it will give, if the third value is less than 5, it will give the same value as 1 2. Why? Because the third value is less than 5, right? So it gives the same value as 1 2. And here if you observe this, the value is greater than 5, right? So it round up the value to the next value, that is 1 3. This is how it works. And similarly we'll apply some round here. I want only 2 decimal points after, sorry, 2 decimal values after the point. So if you run this, uh, so you can able to see only 2 decimal points. That's it, guys. Sorry, it is too long. Why? Because every day we're getting delayed.